What is up guys? Hopefully you are all having an awesome day. So this is video number 2 for the day. So obviously a lot to talk about this afternoon. Obviously this is going to be kind of a follow-on video to the one that I did this morning. So before I start off with the things I needed to say, I want to comment on this. I want to make a comment that needed to be said. So obviously I do different videos. I don't always do videos about child exploitation. I don't want people to think that my channel is just me, wanting to post videos about the Inhams. I do post a lot of videos about them, but my channel isn't solely based around them. My channel isn't just about, isn't just me doing videos talking about them, slagging them off, most of the time. I do want to do other videos where, like for example, over the last couple of days, well, yesterday and today, I've been really kind of talking more about why family vlogging channels, in general, need to be banned. I mean, in the videos I put out yesterday, I very well just said that it's just the Inham's channel that needs to be banned. But I don't, as I said, I don't want my video, as I've said before, I don't want it to seem like I'm singling the Inhams out most of the time, because that's what people think. People think that I'm singling them out most of the time, or probably think that I'm singling them out most of the time, but I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to single them out, nor am I trying to single out the Honey Jolies at all. I mean, obviously, I know I talk about them quite a lot. They're the two main channels that I talk about, because in my mind, those two channels alone are two of the most controversial channels on YouTube right now. I mean, obviously everyone talks about, the LeBrons and all of that, but are these people like, like Darren Fear's whole LeBron, people like, people like, obviously, like the dad from Dad v Girls. At least those guys haven't been accused of what Chris was accused of. I think, there will always be that question mark as to why the Inhams channel wasn't banned after the allegations came out. Probably because Chris was so adamant the allegations made against him weren't true, which I think we all know they are. I just, I don't know what else to say. I mean, obviously I did say a lot of what needed to be said in my video this morning. I was saying about, how the fact that, these parents are basically selling their kids to, they're selling their children to, paedophiles and child predators on a plate. They're basically serving their kids up to that sort of audience on a plate. They're often using thumbnails, like they will attract that sort of audience. I really don't, I have a go at Jonathan a lot for that, because Jonathan Jolie a lot for that, because if the one thing you will notice, right, is if you look at Jonathan Jolie's YouTube channel in particular, every full video that he puts out, every video that he puts out has an open mouth thumbnail. And to me, that just feels really disgusting. It feels really kind of inappropriate, because, I know what he's trying to do with that. Like, I know what sort of audiences he's trying to attract. Obviously, there'll be a video that goes out on his channel today, and I don't doubt that once again, it will be a video that has an open mouth thumbnail, because every video does have an open mouth thumbnail. That's become like a speciality on Jonathan's video, and it's become kind of like a common thing. Like, for me, Jonathan Jolie's YouTube channel is like a pedo's paradise. And that's basically what it is. It's basically a pedophile's paradise, to be fairly honest. Everything about the Jonathan Jolie channel disgusts me, I mean, I'm disgusted with a lot of these family vlogging channels purely because of the amount of child exploitation there is that's going on, you know, and it's sad that people are, people are ignoring, people are denying the fact that these kids are being exploited and abused, because they are, you know, whether people choose to admit this or not, those kids are indeed being exploited and abused by their parents. Because all their parents are interested in is money and views. You know, the more those, let's face it, the more the hits are in the videos, the more views those videos get. If people like the Inhams didn't have their hits in the videos, they wouldn't get as many views as they do now. You know, and these parents are not stupid. They know that the only reason their videos get so many views is because they show the kids. But it seems to be the one thing they don't, like, none of them ever think about is just who might be watching their videos. And this is what some of them need to do. Some of them need to kind of take a step back and just think about who might actually be watching their videos and why those people might be watching their videos. Because let's just say that there are some people who might be watching their videos who may not exactly have good intentions, so to speak. They're probably, chances are there is probably a very good chance that there are paedophiles or child predators watching the videos of watching the videos of these kids every day. There's no denying that. Someone had to say this. Someone had to address this. A lot of the time, a lot of what you're seeing these days is, kids being exploited, being abused. Parents pedo-baiting their kids. Basically making their kids basically making their kids handy for child predators and paedophiles. Parents pimping their kids out. Again, that's something else that you're seeing quite often now on YouTube, is kids being pimped out by their parents, and it's disgusting. All of this is actually, is what's actually going on. This is what is happening on YouTube these days. YouTube has basically become a platform for kids to be exploited, abused, groomed, pimped out, you name it. You name it, it probably happens on YouTube. And it just saddens me, it sickens me to think that people are defending these family vloggers all the time. Shame on those people. All I can say is shame on those people that are defending them. That's all I can really say. I tell you what, right, and I mentioned this in a video I put out the other week. The other day, I think it was Saturday. I went back and I was looking at the Inham's channel. And the one thing that really, really sickened me was the amount of videos that Chris and Sarah have uploaded to YouTube that have thumbnails with Esme, Isla and Isabel in bikinis and swimwear. That made me absolutely sick to my stomach. If that's not classed as pedo baiting kids, or making kids handy for paedophiles, and if that's not classed as pimping kids out, I don't know what is. The fact that they have uploaded so many videos that have thumbnails like that is truly disgusting. And it sickens me to think that people can't see anything wrong with that. It's like every time someone raises a problem, and actually hauls, these family vloggers out for using thumbnails like that, it's always that person who's in the wrong, because they're the one that, as they've taken issue with the fact that the family vlog, the fact that these people are using thumbnails like that. But it's not us that's in the wrong for taking issue with it. it's the parents that are in the wrong for using thumbnails like that. You know, to me, parents filming their kids in bikinis and swimwear with the full intention of sharing that online, it's just absolutely disgusting. Like, I wouldn't have so much of a problem with it if they didn't have the intent, if they were filming their kids in bikinis and swimwear without the intention of sharing that online. Like, the fact that they are filming their kids in bikinis and swimwear with the full intention of sharing that on a public social media platform is absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely outrageous, and it's totally disgraceful. Like, I can't begin to describe just how angry this makes me seeing this going on, and seeing the fact that YouTube are allowing this. You know, because that's basically, they're putting, parents are uploading footage like that of their kids to a public social media platform. They're not stopping about it. They're not stopping to think about who can access footage like that of their kids. They're putting that footage of their kids in bikinis and swimwear out there on a public social media platform for the whole world to see. There's nothing stopping a paedophile or a child predator from getting hold of that footage of their child. I guarantee, we all know for a fact that footage and images of girls in bikinis and swimwear is always bound to end up on the dark web. And these parents are basically putting footage out there of their kids that will end up on the dark web. A lot of these parents really need to take a step back and think about what they're doing, and think about the dangers that they're exposing their kids to. I think some of them really need educating on that. Some of them really, the problem with a lot of family vloggers is they just don't give a shit. Like, they really don't give a shit about the dangers that they're exposing their kids to on a daily basis. They don't care about safeguarding their children or protecting their children from paedophilia. If they cared about safeguarding their children, they wouldn't be putting their children out there on a public social media platform every single day, full stop. But they'll keep doing that because they just don't care about about child safety at all. And it's about time someone decided to call them out for this and say, well, hang on a minute, they're putting their kids out there online every single day. How do they know that there's not a paedophile or a child predator watching the videos of their kids every day? And they don't know that, do they? That's the thing. These family vloggers don't know that there are not any paedophiles or are not any child predators watching the videos of their kids every day. They don't, they're not stopping to think about where certain footage of their kids might actually be ending up. I think they need to learn. I think a lot of these family vloggers really need to be taught a very valuable, a very valuable lesson in about how important child safety is. At the end of the day, in all honesty, no child should ever have to consent to footage of them in their bikinis and swimwear being put out on a public social media platform. To me, that's not something that a child should have to consent to. That's what if you want one of these family vloggers out for uploading footage of their child in their bikinis and swimwear, to a public social media platform, these family vloggers would say, oh, well, the child gave us permission to put that out there. But but then you would think, well, why should a child have to give their parents permission to put that sort of footage out there anyway? No parent should ever want to upload footage like that of their child to a public social media platform. No normal decent parent would ever think it was safe to do that. You see so many family vloggers doing it. The Inhams do it. Jonathan and Anna's Honey Jolie, they do it. Georgie and Darren Fizz, they do it. They love showing Georgie and Darren. They love showing footage of their daughter Sienna in bikinis and swimwear, don't they? They do that often enough. You know, it's like, it's just ridiculous. You know, basically what these parents are doing is they're basically pimping their kids out, and it's disgusting to see. You know, the sooner YouTube start taking a tougher stance on child exploitation and actually start doing what needs to be done, the better. You know, I'm done with these family vloggers. I'm done with them making money off their kids. Something has to change, and I don't care what that is, what that is that changes, but something has to change. Someone has to do something. Someone has to sit up and take notice of what's actually going on. There has to be a way that we can make people sit up and take notice of what's going on, and start realising that things are so bad, that the situation is so bad, and why these family vlogging channels need to be done away with. You know, I wouldn't even say demonetise the family vlogging channels. To be honest, they'd be better. I actually think they'd be better off doing away with these family vlogging channels full stop. You know, because I think that would be the most appropriate course of action. But as I said in one of the videos I put out yesterday, YouTube don't see a reason for them to get rid of these family vlogging channels. We need to show them that there is a reason for them that there is a good enough reason for them to get rid of these family vlogging channels for good. And so that's what we want. That's what the end goal is. That's what our target is. And we need to make sure that YouTube really starts seeing the bad side to these family vlogging channels, and start really getting, we need to give YouTube a decent general idea of just how badly these family vloggers are exploiting their kids. So yeah, that's all I really need to say in this video anyway. I hope you enjoy this one. And I'll see you for another video tomorrow, probably. And have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you all later on. Bye bye, guys.